Well, good afternoon, fastball fans. Welcome back to John Miller Field here at Circle Tap Bar and Grill, just on the outskirts of Denmark, Wisconsin. ISC Network, Blair Setford, Joe Todd, as we bring you day 2 of the 77th annual ISC World Tournament. There you see the flags of the countries that are the hosts of the teams that are competing. We've got teams from the United States, Canada, from New Zealand, and Mexico. On the field today, we've got the Lacie A's from Oregon and the Pacific Northwest. They're taking on the Bear Creek Express from Chippewa-on-the-Thames, Ontario, Southwest Ontario. Joe Todd, this is looking to be an exciting matchup. You've got Javi Caballero, U.S. national team pitcher, taking on this Express team, which is loaded with Canadian national team players. This is a pretty good matchup.
Should be a great matchup. Lacie A is coming off that big victory yesterday, 5-1, and so they're obviously on a roll now, trying to knock off one of the top teams in the tournament.
Bear Creek Express come in ranked number 4 in the ISC rankings. They are, as we said, loaded with national team talent. There we go. There's the batting order. Jordan Pomeroy be followed by Brandon Horn, Tyler Pauli, Quentin Bruce in the 4 spot. Kyle Ezekiel, Ryan Boland bats 6, Colin Walsh 7, Jason Hill in the 8 spot, and shortstop David Galino bats 9th. Defensively for the Lacie A's, we'll get the graphic for you. Defensively for the Lacie A's, Dave McDaniel playing left field. Colton Turner is in center. Al Califf will be out in right field for the A's. Trevor Knight, Pat Sagdal, Casey Knight, and Christian Knight around the horn on the infield. It's days for Knights, Joe, and then Javi Caballero, as we said, pitching for the Lacie A's. Boston Pole behind the dish for the team from Oregon. And this one is skied and right up against the fence. Boston Pole will make the grab. That's a good defensive play. There's a lot of iron out there to contend with, Joe.
Yeah, it's pretty important just to keep their eye on that ball and focus really well and get that first out of the game.
You see Pole going right to the fence there on the replay. So Pomeroy pops out. And Brandon Horn in the 2 spot for Bear Creek as they shake up the order a little bit, Joe, from what we've been used to. We've seen Quentin Bruce at the top of the order a fair bit. We've seen Pomeroy sometimes hitting 2, sometimes lead off, but occasionally down at the bottom of the order. And then Brandon Horn sometimes has been all the way down at the bottom. But yeah, I really like Brandon Horn in the 2 spot just because of his versatility.
Yeah, he slaps the ball, puts the ball in play, has a real good eye.
Upstairs from Caballero. Caballero pitches in the Miami area, is it? Yeah, the Miami area. He was a bit of a find for Team USA. Plays the modified game down in South Florida. Chopper on the infield. Diving play by Trevor Knight. Scooped up and thrown, but can't get Brandon Horn over at first as he legs out an infield single. Tyler Pauli to the plate. Tyler, already at the young age of 26, has already got a couple of batting titles to his credit here, the ISC World Tournament, most recently 2021.
Tyler really works on his game in the offseason.
That is just foul.
Caballero pitched 5 innings in the game yesterday, had 9 strikeouts, did not have a walk in those 5 innings.
Chases upstairs. Good rise ball from Caballero. Got some pace on it, too. 1-2. Foul back to the screen. Throwing a lot of rise balls up in the zone right now is Caballero.
Trying to beat him on maybe his favorite pitch.
He gets Pauli to chase up and out of the zone for strike 3. So 2 down. That'll bring up the ever dangerous Quentin Bruce, 2022 Player of the Year in Canada East. Nobody's ever had quite the season like Quentin Bruce, Joe Todd. All-World here at ISC. He was All-American at the USA National, All-Canadian at the Canadian National, and then top it off was All-World at the WBSC World Cup. This one is laced out to center, and it's just for that reason. Hits the ball hard, consistently, and the sky is the limit for this young man from the Grand Valley area. And to top it off, he got to watch his league team, Grand Valley Expos, pick up a win in their ISC World Tournament debut, and they'll be on the field next, so I'm sure Quentin Bruce will be sticking around to watch that one.
Quentin puts the ball in play, has a great eye. Wherever that pitch comes across the plate, he's willing to take a swing at it. Short swing, he's got the big power swing if he needs it.
So Kyle Ezekiel to the plate, swings at that nice drop ball too, so some good movement and good mix here from Caballero early, but he's facing a bit of trouble with 2 runners aboard. Horn out at second, Bruce at first for the Bear Creek Express. If you're just getting in with us on the ISC network, top of the first, Javi Caballero works out of a bit of trouble as he strikes out Kyle Ezekiel to strand 2. We'll go to the home half. Lacie A's coming to the plate.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Lacie A's coming up to the plate in the bottom of the first inning here on our Game 1 of 4 on the ISC network today. Pat Sagdal to lead things off for Lacie A's. Boston Pohl bats second. Trevor Knight third. Christian Knight, Javi Caballero, one of the pitchers batting in the lineup today. Al Califf, Casey Knight, Dave McDaniel, Colton Turner bats ninth for the Lacie A's. And then defensively, for the Bear Creek Express, left to right across the outfield. Well, that's the New York Gremlins. We'll get the Bear Creek Express lineup for you. The Gremlins will be coming up later today. There's the Bear Creek Express. Quentin Bruce in left field, Jordan Pomeroy in center. Colin Walsh is in right field today. Brandon Horn, David Galino, Tyler Pauli, Jason Hill from third to first around the horn. Sean Cleary working to Ryan Boland for Bear Creek. And Joe Todd, would you expect anybody else other than Sean Cleary and Ryan Boland?
No, not. This is your main man. This is the week that you want to pull your game together. Those two have a great reputation of being ready for this week. They're ready to do the job.
Pat Sagdal is a former batting champion in the ISC, Joe Todd. He had a really lofty average a couple of years back when he won that. It's probably more than a couple of years. We had that graphic up last night. Pat was amongst the batting leaders. And it's good to see him back here, too. We haven't seen Pat in a couple of years.
No.
But good to see him still in the game. Tries to drop down a bunt, and that is fouled off.
Good leadoff batter, Pat Sagdahl. Puts the ball in play, good eye at the plate. Choking up a little bit with his bat.
He's always done that. He's always had that, had the hands up the handle a little bit.
Gray, cloudy, and overcast today. Great day to be playing ball, though.
Looks at one up and out of the zone. Fouled off again. This will be a tough battle at the top of the shop for anybody playing the Lacie A's. Pat's got great bat control, as you talked about, can put the ball down, but is also a gap hitter too.
Riley Mannion getting some warm-up pitches already down in the right field line.
Well, I'm sure he's just staying loose.
Yep. Well, it's the same story that if you're going to get to Sean Cleary, you get him early in the game.
That's always been the story with Sean Cleary. You are absolutely correct. We saw it a week ago as the Gremlins got to him for 3, and not much after that. They scored some runs on the relief, but not a lot else against Cleary. This one was fouled off and in and out of the glove of Bolin. That got a little bit of bite on Sean too in the thigh, or in Ryan rather, in the thigh, but there'd have to be a bone sticking out for Ryan to come out of the game. Called strike 3, outside corner, and that is Sean Cleary, quintessential Sean Cleary right there. Watch the replay, just paints the corner with this one. Right to the edge.
Great location, too. Right at the base of the strike zone.
Boston Pole. Behind that offering from Sean Cleary is almost the same pitch and same location, but just a different side of the plate. It's the inside corner to the righty.
Austin Pohl was the big stick in that Stone Yard game yesterday. 3 for 4 with a triple and a home run.
Change up from Cleary. It's a world-class one. And don't be surprised if they double up on the changeup. They'll do it once or twice a game.
And early in the game, I like it. Gives that batter something to think about when he goes back to the bench.
That inside corner, same pitch he got Sagdahl, but it's the inside, as we talked about, to the righty. And we'll see if they pick apart that corner on these Lacie A batters.
So important just to stay aggressive with that 2-strike count. Got to protect that plate. Don't leave that count in the umpire's hands.
Trevor Knight will step in, the 3-batter for Lacie A's from Olympia in Washington State, Pacific Northwest.
Hopefully we see Lacie A's next year in Surrey, British Columbia.
I am just about positive that we will. That's driving distance for those guys. Look forward to the 2024 ISC World Tournament. We got a long way to go here in 23, but in 2024, Surrey, British Columbia, suburb of Vancouver, Softball City, famed four-diamond complex that has hosted all kinds of high-level fast-pitch softball events. There's the change-up, and gets a called strike. Joe, the Blue Crew today.
Brandon Bloom on the plate, David Lee at first base, and Gary Johnston from Wisconsin at third base.
Trevor Knight, one of three Knight family on the Lacie A's. Follows that right back to the screen. Would you say Sean looks right now at about 85% capacity? Maybe 80. Yeah, yeah. Just easing his way into this one.
He hasn't warmed up yet.
Well, he's got a very rigorous routine, and it's the same thing every time. Obviously, Sean is a pro, knows exactly what he needs to do to get loose. I just don't think he's pushing himself right now. Didn't like that pitch. Having watched Sean up close from 2014 to 2016 with the Toronto Gators, and then from up here in the press box both before and after that, we've seen a lot of Sean over the years, Joe, and right now he's, I think you're right, about 80% in terms of maximum that he's putting out. Skips this one in.
Well, right now, at this stage of the game and this stage of the day, it's just so important to hit the glove. Ryan Bullen is an experienced catcher. Make sure you hit the target that Ryan sets up. He's got a game plan.
One of the advantages, of course, for Lacie A's is that they did play yesterday. They've already got their first game under their belt. Chopper in the infield, David Galino comes up with that, handles it easily. Over to Jason Hill at first. 3 up, 3 down for Lacie A's. Scoreless through 1. Bear Creek Express, Lacie A's. We're just getting going on Sunday.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
Hello, my name is Michael Holobradek. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
My name is Pablo Miglievaca from Argentina, and for every game I use Gorilla Gold.
Hola, mi nombre es Samuel Villalbazo, pitcher de la Selección de México, y en todos mis juegos uso Gorilla Grip.
Hi, I'm Adam Folker. I play for the Hill United Chiefs from Australia, and I've been using Gorilla Gold my whole life. My name's Jack Besco from Australia, and I can't pitch without Gorilla Gold.
Ryan Boland would lead things off for Bear Creek Express. Top of the second inning, Ryan and the Goulds, just outside of St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. First pitch, pops this one up. That's going to go out of play down the left side. The veteran, one of the captains on Team Canada.
Great grab by one of the fans in the stands.
Yeah, just got it right back into the play right away.
Didn't even collect her quarter.
That's right. Looks at a ball. So 1-1 on Ryan Boland. One of the toughest guys in the game. There it is, right there. What a great grab. Didn't even get out of her seat.
Oh.
That's a little flare in the infield. The shortstop, Pat Sagdal, will grab that.
Right fielder, Colin Walsh.
Colin Walsh to the plate, another of the Newfoundland connection for Bear Creek. Colin, originally from Petty Harbor, one of the prettiest little towns in Newfoundland that you'll come across. Home of Chafe's Fish and Chips. Had a great meal there, and back in 2016, one of the 3 times I've been fortunate enough to visit the St. John's area.
Still have not been out there yet.
Oh, Joe, you have got to make that pilgrimage. It is a fantastic place. Proceeding brought to you by the St. John's Newfoundland Tourism Board.
And Chamber of Commerce. Great pitch location there by Caballero. Ball down low and on the outside corner of the plate.
Laced by Walsh. That's going to get all the way to the fence on 2 hops. Colin will pull into second with a stand-up double. And the Express in business again with a runner in scoring position. Just 1 down on the inning. And first baseman Jason Hill. Jason, the last 10 years with the Hill United Chiefs, but with the retirement of Steve Mullally, felt it was a time to move on and an opportunity to play with some of his Newfoundland and Labrador colleagues. Cleary, Boland, Walsh. Had never played with Sean and Ryan before.
Oh, that's...
Not at the ISC anyway.
Yeah.
First pitch swinging, pulls it to second baseman Casey Knight. That will advance Walsh up to third base.
Shortstop, David Moreno.
Jason, of course, one of the co-hosts of Dust Up, one of our sponsors. You'll see their spot a little bit later in the game. Steve Mullally, Jason Hill. Get some great guests, and you and I listened to the Andrew Kirkpatrick episode on our drive down here. And some funny stories that you just don't get to hear otherwise. David Galino to the plate, Mexican national team player, a pickup for the Express this year. He really impressed playing with the San Antonio Glowworm squad last year. And little nubber here, but he was in the box. It went off the toe. Solid defensively and can add some gap shots offensively as well, and a real nice addition to Bear Creek, where shortstop was a bit of a mystery for them last year.
Had a few options, but they just couldn't settle and decide on their choice. Caballero has to be real careful here. He's had a little bit too much of the plate. Got to start picking on some corners.
Upstairs, gets Galino chasing. They strand Colin Walsh at third base. Bear Creek can't push a run across. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Lacie A's coming back to the plate. Scoreless. Stay with us. What?
Grand Valley.
Oh, yeah. No, they won the toss even, too.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business.
It'll be 4-5-6 for the Lacie A's coming to the plate in the bottom of the second inning. Christian Knight, Javi Caballero, and Al Califf. Joe, they didn't get much off of Sean Cleary in the first, and this will be the battle for Lacie A's, as Sean, as you mentioned earlier, tends to get stronger as the game goes on.
The Lacie A's got caught looking at 2 third strikes, so have to get more aggressive at the plate.
Paints the outside corner for strike one, and one of many things that Sean Cleary does well is he works ahead of batters.
Loves to get that first strike count.
Skips this one in.
If you're watching the game on Game Changer, first strikes are one of the big statistics that are maintained on Game Changer. Christian Knight was 2 for 3 in that game against Stoneyard yesterday. 2 singles. Big boy at the plate.
And Joe, I don't want to jinx it, but Sean working at a relatively
fast pace.
I was going to say relatively good pace here.
Yes.
Not known for working quickly, let's say. Swing and a miss there. And as long as nobody's on base.
Yeah.
Another strikeout for Cleary as down goes Christian Knight.
Pitcher, Javier Caballero.
Caballero to the dish. You won't see a lot of pitchers hitting this week, but there are some here and there. Caballero obviously one of them.
Caballero batted in the 4th spot yesterday, too. So, was 0 for 4.
Well, that might explain why they dropped him 1 down to 5 today. He has another
Demotion.
day like that, he'll be down to 6.
Demotion.
Yeah. And that's a hard hit shot past Galino. Sliding across is Quentin Bruce to cut it off before it can get to the gap. And he holds Caballero to a hard hit single. So he's off the schneid.
He'll be back up to 4th tomorrow.
Well, he's be back in the lineup at least anyway. Yeah.
Right fielder, Al Carlos.
Al Califf now to the dish. The sun trying to peek through just a little bit. It's pretty overcast, as you said, Joe. High hopper on the infield. They tossed to second for the lead out. That was all that Tyler Pauli really had the opportunity to do. If it had come down a little bit sooner, they might have had a chance to get 2, but it hung up there for quite a while.
Yeah, he drove it hard into the ground, took a big high bounce.
So 2 down, Casey Knight to the dish. Chase is way upstairs.
Nope. I need a step ladder for that baby. It's a good pitch for Sean to get up in the count now. It sets up a lot of other pitches.
Runs forward in the box a couple of stutter steps. I've never been a big fan of that. I don't think you are either. Just too many moving parts in the box. It's hard enough to make contact, especially when you're facing somebody the stature of Sean Cleary. And then you add in the fact that you're moving. That's a lot to do. Just misses inside. This one is skied up on the infield. Brandon Horn calls for it just back left of the circle. They will strand that base hit, leave 1 runner aboard. 2 complete innings were scoreless. Bear Creek Express, Lacie A's headed to the top of the 3rd.
The New York Gremlins congratulate our own Dr. Bob Neidick on his induction to the ISC Hall of Fame as this year's recipient of the Bob Welby Memorial Recognition of Service Award. Dr. Bob is a 4-time ISC World Champ, winning his first 2 titles with the Kitchener River Shark Twins in 2008 and 2009. His second 2 came with us in 2018 and 2019, and he says, we're not done. Bob started in the game when he was 17 in Pennsylvania and played in a national championship in 1996. His first ISC World Tournament was 2004 in Fargo, North Dakota. Since 2012, he's been a Gremlins co-sponsor, and we couldn't be prouder of him to be recognized for all of his contributions to the game.
Congratulations, Dr. Bob.
We'll go to the top of the 3rd inning for the Bear Creek Express, and then back to the top of the shop. Jordan Pomeroy, Brandon Horn, Tyler Pauli will get their second look at Javi Caballero. High hopper. They're going to have to hurry to get him barehanded, but no chance to get Jordan Pomeroy, and wisely Pat Sagdal just held onto that ball rather than risk making an errant throw. An infield single for Jordan Pomeroy, who runs extremely well. And if you follow John Boy Media anywhere on social media, you've seen Jordan Pomeroy as back at the Canada East Qualifier tournament in Mitchell, making a just spectacular catch. There's the bunt. It's down, picked up, over to first and out at first. So a sacrifice bunt. Brandon Horn, the Express, early in the game, Joe, just the 3rd inning, top of the shop, but they put the bunt down and get Pomeroy up into scoring position. The new skipper, John Stewart, who doesn't do a lot of bunting with his Team Canada here in the club circuit, a little bit more orthodox by the book.
Well, I like to see a bunt, especially early in the game with no score. You want to be that first team to not make that notch on the board.
Showing bunt, ball eye. This one skips past everybody to the screen, and there's a free 60 feet and an extra base for Jordan Pomeroy. So
important for Caballero to concentrate when there's runners on base and focus. You just can't throw that pitch and release it. You got to work that much harder when runners are on base.
And this one is laced down the right field line. That's going to make its way to the corner. Pomeroy scores easily. Flying around second into third, standing up goes Tyler Pauli. You'll see this ball get all the way to the fence, and there's Pomeroy crossing the plate with ease, and Pauli around to get that stand-up triple.
Good contact there by Pauli, pulling that ball down that line.
Quentin Bruce now to the dish, and up and in from Caballero. Bruce wasn't around for long at his first at-bat, hit the first pitch to center field for a single. He's about to double his pitches taken count here. And does the same thing. This is hard hit to left. That's going to hit the fence. Pauli will trot home. Bruce up to second base with a double. And it looks like they've got the measure here of Caballero, at least Pauli and Quentin Bruce do. 2 hard-hit balls, Joe. And the second time around, the Express are out of the station.
Yeah, exactly what you just mentioned. That second time through the order. Picked up, watching his pitch back in his pitches, seeing the timing on his pitches. Really explosive bats here on this Bear Creek Express team. Kyle Ezekiel now at the plate. Kyle the DP in today's game. Kyle struck out back in the first inning.
Yeah, really chased a pitch out of the zone at first at bat. First at bat jitters, maybe.
Yep.
Takes that pitch.
As long as you go to school on it, make some notes, make some mental notes, come back up and do it correct the next time.
Chopper on the infield. Sagdahl looks Bruce back to second base, and then a good strong throw over to first to record the out on Kyle Ezekiel. We'll bring up Ryan Boland. Fouls this one back to the screen.
Nice pitch, just missing off the edge of the plate. Lacie A's have to shut the door here.
And this one is driven out to left. That's going to fall in front of the left fielder, Dave McDaniel. Quentin Bruce got a good jump and read right away that that was going to fall in. He comes around to score. Ryan Boland picks up an RBI single. And just quickly here, Bear Creek Express out in front 3-0 as hit after hit after hit.
4 hits so far this inning.
Colin Walsh, who hammered one in the first. Sorry, the second inning in his first at bat. Misses downstairs. Joe, we had a question come in. Is it a home run if the ball hits the upper part of the outfield fence? Well, assuming that the ball goes over the fence after hitting the fence, yes, indeed, it is a home run. We saw that very scenario play out here in 2019. Teo Migliavaca hit the first pitch of the game off of Adam Falkert. It hit the crossbar right on the top of the fence here at John Miller Field and went out. That is a home run. Now, if it bounces back into the field of play or if it's touched by a player and stays in play, of course, then it's a live ball.
Yeah. Those are pretty high fences going around that outfield.
20 feet. Bleeder on the infield. Sagdahl, sure-handed as ever, flips to first for the final out of the inning, but the Express push across 3 and jump out to that 3-0 lead in the third inning. We'll go to the home half. Lacie A's coming back up to the dish. Stay with us on the ISC Network. Joel, we got a second. Want to say hello to Janet Boland back in St. John's, Newfoundland. Janet's got her afternoon planned out. She's got Ryan in this game and son Shane coming up in the next one. Hill United Chiefs will take on the Grand Valley Expos in our 3 p.m. Central Time game.
Left fielder, Dave McDaniel.
Hard to say what she's ordering for supper then, because she won't be cooking. Maybe the oven will be cooking.
She's got 15 minutes in between games.
Yeah.
It's lots of time.
Yeah.
Grilled cheese. Dave McDaniel, Colton Turner, and then back to the top of the shop for Pat Sagdal for the A's here, the home half of the third inning. That bunt attempt didn't work. Jason Hill is, well, I was just about to say he's back at first, but he just took a couple of steps in. Brandon Horn is in 7 feet, maybe 8 in front of the bag at third. Hill creeps in a couple of steps. And a called strike on the outside corner, top side of the zone. Up and in from Cleary. Riley Mannion throwing again down the right field line for the Express. Saw Justin Schofield on our way in. That's usually been the pairing. Cleary for 5, Schofield for 2, but looks like Mannion is the guy up getting the work so far, Joe. We'll keep an eye on that. Boy, to be blessed with 3 of the harder throwers in the game. Cleary's so smooth, but you don't realize how much velocity he's got. He throws into the low 80s. Schofield probably low 80s and may gust up into the low mid 80s. And Mannion emerging on the scene coming out of the U23 program for Canada throws as hard as either of them. Swing and a miss. Awkward swing there from Dave McDaniel down on strikes as he got tied up with that inside pitch from Cleary. Down in the 9 spot, Colton Turner, the center fielder for the A's. Short bench for Lacie A's. They've got Chase Thompson, Darren Michael, and Dave Carlton, but Dave is really more of a coach. He's in the Legends division as a player. That one fouled to the screen. Good hack there by Colton Turner.
Another ball catching Ryan Boland. Having a little laugh about it now, though. They take a beating back there.
Blows that one right on by Mr. Turner. How many Ks now? 5 for Cleary through 2/3 of the third. So back to the top of the shop. Sagdal had a good at bat, saw a lot of pitches, but ultimately looked at a burner on the outside corner for strike 3.
Lacie A's need to find a reply. Those runs put on the board by Bear Creek have to get themselves back into this game. Are now back up to the top of the order. Second time through.
Tries to bunt. Joe, Pat Sagdal spent at least one season, I think a couple seasons, with the New York Gremlins back last decade.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because, one, we're going to see the New York Gremlins after opening ceremonies today, and two, we're hoping to be joined at some point later this afternoon by Dr. Bob Nidick, one of the 4 newest members of the ISC Hall of Fame. We had the Hall of Fame breakfast and induction ceremony this morning. Dr. Bob Nidick receiving the Bob Welby Recognition of Service Award, just off the outside corner from Cleary. Bob Nidick, one of the sponsors of the New York Gremlins, past sponsor of the Quaker River Sharks, the Quaker River Shark Twins, other teams over the course of his lengthy time and involvement in the men's game. Swing and a miss. Sagdahl chases upstairs for strike 3. Cleary strikes out the side in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bear Creek Express will come back in the top of the 4th, looking to add to this 3-0 lead. Jason Hill will lead things off for the Bear Creek Express as we go to the top of the 4th inning. And just to clear up the dining options for Janet Boland, she reports back wine and a barbecue on the deck for anybody that was curious. First pitch swinging Jason Hill. Joe, the Hall of Fame breakfast this morning. We talked about Dr. Bob Nidick. Let's also mention Dean Kane of the local Circle Tap Dukes. Dean, let's call him the business manager for the Dukes. Longtime player, team executive, manager, chief cook, bottle washer, everything and anything to do with the Dukes, and the right-hand man of Darren Derricks. And we heard all about that this morning, and a very heartfelt speech from Dean Kane this morning. Really enjoyed that, hearing from Dean. Gotten to know Dean over the last several years with the ISC. We'll get Dean Kane in to talk about all of that at some point this afternoon as well. Todd Twatman from Iowa played in Wisconsin here with the Farm Tavern for a few years. He talked about being a bridesmaid several times, but unfortunately never a bride.
Whoa.
Doug Charlton, as smooth as anything, just tilted the head a little bit to avoid that yellow missile off the bat of Jason Hill. Very smooth out there by Doug, very experienced coach for the Bear Creek Express, and very wisely at least 15 feet behind the bag. Jason Hill, a noted pole hitter, looks at called strike 3 from Javi Caballero. Hilly a little reluctant to leave the box. Brandon Bloom, one of the best in the game, and I put a lot of faith in Brandon's strike zone.
Yep.
David Galino, the 9-batter for the Express, will try to get the 4th inning on track for the Bear Creek team from Chippewa on the Thames, Ontario, just outside of London, Ontario. Southwest, if you are a geography buff, from London, Ontario. On Olympia, Washington for the Lacie A's. This one is right up the elevator shaft, and Boston Pole will avoid stepping on his mask and make the catch. That might have been a home run in a telephone booth. And the final member of the ISC Hall of Fame of the class of 2023, Dick Helmuth, the late Dick Helmuth, played in the 50s, 60s, and all the way into 1970 with the Danuba Condors, who were one of the top teams in the Western Softball Congress. As a multi-hopper and through the legs of Casey Knight as that final hop stayed down on him. He was expecting it to come up. He taps the chest and says, "That's entirely on me." So Jordan Pomeroy aboard on the E4, and look for Jordan Pomeroy to be on the move very quickly, Joe. Test the arm of Boston Pole. He's got speed to burn. 2 out, you're top of the order. I'd be willing to take the chance on a stolen base. Brandon Horn laces that foul. But Dick Helmuth caught for the Danuba Condors, who battled the Long Beach Nighthawks over the years in the Western Softball Congress, which at the time was the acknowledged best men's fast pitch league in North America. In the era when fast pitch abounded across small towns all over the U.S. and Canada, Dick Helmuth amongst the best catchers out there. And we heard from Dick's niece today, and I thought that was a great tribute to her late uncle as well.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Horn skies this one. Pat Sagdal will come in and take charge in front of second base. So the error goes for naught. Nothing across other than the one base runner for Bear Creek in the top of the fourth. They still lead 3-0 over the Lacie A's. The A's coming to the plate in the bottom of the fourth. Stay with us. Blair Sedford, Joe Todd on the ISC Network.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Joe, a couple things that we want to bring everybody up to date with. First is the out-of-town scoreboard. And by out-of-town, I mean just over in Denmark at Memorial Park. RM Kurtz leading JB 1-0, top of the fourth inning. That would be an upset if that score holds. And then I think to nobody's surprise, the Niagara Stompers up 7-0 on the New Zealand Blue Sox. Blue Sox come from behind 5-4 winners over the Georgian Bay Giants yesterday afternoon. They get the pleasure of taking on the number 2 Niagara Stompers today. Blue Sox competed in that ISC 21 under tournament that was held Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here at John Miller Field. They came away with a third place finish behind Czechia, who brought a real strong 18 and under team over and really impressed a lot of people with their play. A swing and a miss there by Boston Pole.
Thank you to those teams that make that big financial commitment to attend. It's a huge commitment, but they were over here for probably 2 full weeks.
Yeah, they got a lot of ball for their efforts. The Blue Sox staying on and playing in the ISC World Tournament. There was a Wisconsin 21U team. That one's laced over into the parking lot. There was a Wisconsin 21U team, and most of those guys are now playing as Stoneyard here in the ISC World Tournament. Auckland finished third. Wisconsin was second. Auckland third. And the USA 18 and under team, which will compete in the Pan Am qualifier in about 3 weeks in Colombia. And that will be a qualifier for the 18 and under World Cup next year. Now, it's a bit of flexibility on the age ranges because of COVID, and certain players would have aged out, no fault of their own. So I think everybody is being a little flexible there. But World Cup's now being offered for the U18, U23, and the men's side. So expansion of the World Cup program, and good to see more international opportunities, Joe. And there's also the World Games event in 2025. There's Riley Mannion warming up again down the right field side. He's going to throw a game and a half if he does come in. So that 2025 World Games event in China, that's actually going to result in the ISC World Tournament being moved up by 2 weeks in 2025 to go the last week of July and just into the first weekend of August. That'll happen in 2025. The site to be determined. We'll likely get that decided later this week. ISC Board of Directors meeting is Tuesday. They're going to ask if he swung and no, says our first base umpire. So that is ball 4.
Third baseman Trevor Knight.
Boston Pole with a leadoff walk. Don't often see that against Cleary. We'll see if the Lacie A's can take advantage of a rare miscue by Cleary. Trevor Knight to the plate. But Riley Mannion is really throwing with some intent down the right field side. I can hear the snap of the glove from here. High hopper to Galino. They get one, and then back to first, just legging that out is Trevor Knight. Galino got the benefit of the big hop on this ground ball. You can see it come right into his chest, and then Pauli just misses on the relay to first.
Good turn and release there by Tyler Pauli.
For the 4-batter, Christian Knight. Sibling Trevor over at first. And in for a strike. Cleary again working ahead.
Shot seems to work a little bit harder when there's runners on base. Turns up the focus, turns up the dial.
And that pitch just misses downstairs. I don't know if anybody asked for a swing, but David Lee was letting us know that no, it wasn't, just in case anybody wanted to ask.
50 pitches for Sean Cleary so far in the game.
Well, we're getting to the halfway point, so that's probably about right. There's a changeup. The inside corner, good one.
Really got the batter guessing now.
Some of the other changes that the sharp-eyed among you may have already spotted, and we referenced it a bit earlier. Snap throw down, and boy, if Hill gets turned around a little bit quicker, they had him cold. I'm not sure if Jason Hill was expecting that throw. Looked like it caught him unaware, too. They definitely had Knight picked off. But Christian Knight at the plate was down on strikes, and they nearly got Trevor as well. So now to the dish is Javi Caballero. He singled in his first trip back in the second inning. So that change we alluded to was the use of the yellow optic ball here at the ISC World Tournament. It's the same ball, the Rawlings K-Master. Still has the cork core, still has the same elevated number of stitchings. Everything else is the same, just the color is the yellow optic ball that's used in international play and national championships all over the world. Also the use of the safe base, the introduction of, or the adoption of the WBSC safe base rule, which effectively allows the runner the option of going to the white bag on a throw and for the defense to use the orange bag on a pass ball third strike on the right side of the diamond only. Swing and a miss there by Caballero. We had that in an incident yesterday where it was a drop, strike three. It went to the catcher's right side and they were able to make the switch. And it's to avoid collisions. At the end of the day, it's all about player safety, and belatedly adopted here in the ISC.
Well, we all have to, unless you're retired, everybody has to go to work on Monday, so important on the safety side of the game.
Those are a couple of changes that were approved last year at the ISC Board of Directors and introduced. And the last one, Joe, is the defensive delay rule. Now, we haven't seen this one come into play, let's say, in this game, somewhat surprisingly, to be honest. But each defensive team is allowed one defensive conference amongst the players. This one is laced by Caballero. That's going to get all the way to the fence around second, and they're going to give him the wave to the plate. Here's the throw. He's going to be DOA at the plate. That was a coaching mistake, and you see the third base coach right now is saying, sorry, that's on me. Dave Carlton and Trevor Knight exchanging conversation there. Good throw, good relay throw in, and they got him at the plate by a mile.
For the best bear tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with two of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.
Well, you just had a look at the extended stats. Bear Creek 7 hits, 3 runs. 2 hits for the Lacie A's, but no runs. Joe, with the weather forecast that is in play for tomorrow, and honest folks, it looks very, very likely, like 100% likely, that we're going to have a day of rain tomorrow. Been work hard behind the scenes, led by Rich Haldane, our chairman of the World Tournament Committee and vice president for the World Tournament. And there are a number of games that were scheduled to be played tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock that are going to be moved to Diamonds tonight. Rich and group have been hard at work contacting teams. All of these games are in the losers bracket. As first pitch swinging goes Tyler Pauli. If you are keeping track at home on your bracket, here's some changed times. Game 19, which is a loser's bracket game. We're going to go at 6 o'clock here at Circle Tap. Well, that was always going to be the case, game 19. But the games that are moving from tomorrow, game 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, those 6 games will all be played tonight. So on your bracket, you've got your pen and you want to cross things out. Game 21 and 22 will both be at 10 p.m. tonight. The first one, Game 21, will be here at Circle Tap. Game 22 will be up at the Memorial Park Diamonds in Denmark. Game 23 will be played at 6 o'clock tonight. Game 24 at 8 o'clock tonight. Again, both of those at the Diamonds at Denmark. And then lastly, Game 25 and 26, again at the Diamonds in Denmark, one at 10 p.m. and another at 8 p.m. As Pauli lists this one out to left field down in the corner, but that's going to get out of play. So 6 games in total, moved from 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, moved to tonight, and that is just to get ahead of what is expected to be an awful day, as the rain is going to move in here overnight in the Denmark-Wisconsin area. And Pauli laces this one out to right field again. It doesn't get to the corner, but another hard hit ball to right field by Tyler Pauli. And he's on it, Joe, and he can go on a roll and go get 7 or 8 hits in a row.
Yeah, that's almost a duplicate of his second time at the plate where he hit that triple down the line. Has his great focus today and really has Caballero's number. Quentin Bruce does as well with a single and a double and an RBI so far. There was a knee bender there given to Quentin Bruce.
Bruce lists this one out to deep left field, going back, and that's going to hit high up on that fence. Flying around third is Pauli. He'll score all the way from first. Quentin Bruce with another double, another RBI for the young man from Grand Valley, Ontario. And he's just picked up where he's left off, Joe Todd, having another outstanding World Tournament.
Comes through clutch. That's why he bats out of that number 4 hole. Kyle Ezekiel now at the plate. Kyle 0 for 2 so far.
Yeah, Joe, can you pick things up a little bit?
Sure.
I'm going to post these changes for social media. You heard them. You got a sneak preview of what's coming up, folks, for the schedule changes. So please enjoy, Joe Todd.
Good high bouncer. Pat Sagdahl picked up, fired over to first base for the first out of the inning, but Quentin Bruce advancing over to third base. Ryan Bolin now at the plate. Ryan Bolin's 1 for 2 so far, had a single and an RBI back in the third inning. Ryan Bolin, that's very deep in that box. Steps right on that back line. Caballero missing an outside part of the plate. Sun trying to work its way back out now, which is good to see. Ball hit by Ryan Bolin. Another single now. Back that up. Quentin Bruce scoring from third base. RBI. Bolin's second RBI of the game. 2 runs so far put on the board by the Bear Creek Express on 3 hits. Colin Walsh now at the plate. Colin had a double back in that second inning. Grounded out in the third. His third plate appearance here in the 5th inning.
Right fielder Colin Walsh.
Ball slapped by Colin Walsh over to the second baseman, Casey Knight over to Sagdahl for the Double play executed by the Lacie A's. Finish off the inning. Bear Creek scoring 2 runs on 3 hits. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th inning right away.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
We have a new pitcher now in the game for the Bear Creek Express. Riley Mannion now pitching for the Bear Creek Express here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitching line for Sean Cleary. No runs on 2 hits with 7 strikeouts and 1 walk. Riley Mannion now coming off. Al Khalif now batting, the leadoff batter for Lacie A's here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Khalif got on by way of a fielder's choice back in the 2nd inning. Riley Mannion, great pickup here by the Bear Creek Express this year. Mannion coming out of the Napanee, Ontario area. Missing just down. Al Khalif batted left-handed first time. Switch hitter here now at the plate. No. Oh.
Al Khalif is your guy at the plate. Yeah.
Khalif, yeah. That's what I said. Al.
Yeah, and he's in the left side box.
Left side box, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mark. Loud.
Yeah, and he got a walk.
Lead off walk to Riley Mannion. Not the way you want to start your first batter. Casey Knight now at the plate for Lacie A's. Pass ball there. Ryan Bullen. Al Khalif advancing down to second base.
He's going to go out and double check the signals with Mannion. I'm just watching out of the side of my eye here because I know that Ryan likes to have his pitcher-catcher conferences, and right with him was Brandon Bloom.
Yeah.
But he did say to Brandon, I'm going to check on signals first and foremost. So
Brandon accompanied him on that visit.
He did, yeah.
Casey Knight following that ball off the screen. One and one the count. Knight with a hard shot over to David Galino.
I think they just got a big break there. I'm pretty sure he had the hand on the base before the tag. Tough break there for Lacie A's.
Give Casey Knight a fielder's choice, and he's over at first base right now. Dave McDaniel now at the plate. McDaniel, the number 8 batter for the Lacie A's. Struck out back in the 3rd inning. Brian Bolin having his defensive conference now. Justin Schofield taking some warm-up pitches down in the bullpen.
You know, I'm sure, Joe, there's a lot of people thinking, well, why pull Sean Cleary in that instance? And you've got a 5-0 lead. You're on cruise control. It's all about getting guys work. This is Riley Mannion's first World Tournament with Bear Creek Express, and I'm sure they want to get him comfortable out there. Justin Schofield is a veteran, but he may get an inning here as well. But keep Sean Cleary fresh. Sean's not in his 20s or early 30s anymore, and he's going to throw the bulk of the critical innings later in the week. When you've got a 5-0 lead, you don't need to use up Sean Cleary.
Yeah, it's still a long week that they have to pass through. McDaniel falling that ball off. Mannion not having that pinpoint control that we saw from Sean Cleary. Struggling a little bit. But that's exactly the timing that you, with a 5-0 lead, you can work on it for a couple of batters here. Get the kinks out. He's going to be called on later. Big strikeout there by Riley Mannion for the 2nd out of the inning. Mannion's first strikeout. Colton Turner now at the plate, center fielder. Nice little bunt laid down. Ryan Bolin, good bounce, but threw the ball high and over the box, over the plate. Casey Knight advancing over to third base. Colton Turner stranded at first base. A good cover by Colin Walsh in right field.
Update from Denmark. Stompers defeated the Blue Sox 13-0. RM still leads JB 1-6.
Well, Joe, there was the update. I'm not sure if everybody heard the PA announcer, but the Niagara Stompers 13-0 winners over. Boy, I just had that on the tip of my tongue, too. Over the Blue Sox. Sorry about that delay. Niagara Stompers 13-0 over the Blue Sox. And then RM Kurtz, top of the 6, still leading JB 1-0.
John Stewart calling time. Want to go out and have a word with Riley Mannion. Just tell him to calm down. Stay within your game. Back up to the top of the order, Pat Sagdahl. Sagdahl looking for his first contact. 2 strikeouts so far. One swinging, one looking. Colton Turner advancing to second base on a pass ball. Sagdahl really eager now. Wants to get the timing figured out on Mannion.
Well, this is the guy you want at the plate right now is Pat Sagdahl, the veteran. He'd be the best hitter on this team, I think. And you're going to put a couple of runs across. This is a great spot to be in.
They'd love to make a difference on that scoreboard. Remove those zeros. It's important now as Sagdahl covers that plate with 2 strikes, 2-2 count. Mannion with the pitch and the release, high ball, fouled off though. It's a good battle for Riley Mannion. Test him against a good experienced hitter like Pat Sagdahl. Sagdahl pops that up, but foul and over the back of our trailer. Sagdahl got caught looking again, second time today. Was down on strikes now after 5 complete. The score is the Bear Creek Express 5 and Lacie A's no score. We'll be back with the top of the 6th.
Small town USA, the birthplace of the great sport of men's fast-pitch softball. Nowhere more so than Denmark, Wisconsin. Well, softball fans, it's back. The ISC World Tournament is coming back to Denmark and historic Circle Tap Park. August 12 to 19th of 2023. The best of the best in men's fast-pitch land in Wisconsin for 8 days of top-level softball action. Located just minutes from everything downtown Green Bay has to offer. Fans will be able to catch all the ISC action, both at the newly refinished fields in Denmark and at John Miller Field in world-famous Circle Tap Park, where you can enjoy the games along with great food and drink specials. Find ISC Fast Pitch or the 2023 World Tournament links on social media. Or visit iscfastpitch.com to find everything from schedules to info on accommodations. See you at the park.
To lead off the top of the 6th inning for the Bear Creek Express, we go to the first baseman, Jason Hill. Jason batting out that number 8 spot today. Jason still looking for his first hit of the game. Grounded out the second baseman back in the 2nd inning and got caught looking at a 3rd strike in the 4th inning. Bear Creek with 9 hits so far in the game in the first 5 innings. Chase Thompson now pitching for the Lacie A's. Chase was the flex player in the game. Now re-entered the game pitching for Lacie A's. So Jason Hill will face a new pitcher.
First baseman Jason Hill.
Nice pitch on the outside corner of the plate by Thompson. Hill fouling a ball off. Thompson way up in the count now, 0-2. Jason Hill, another batter that loves that deep part of the batter's box. Hill staying alive, but following that pitch off. Was a little high and out of the strike zone. Chase Thompson really working that Gorilla Gold. Hill getting a ball on the plate. Just popping it up to center fielder. Colton Turner for the first out of the inning. David Galino now batting. David's still looking for his first punch too. Good pitch by Thompson to get ahead in the count. Just missing on that outside corner of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to Galino. Galino fighting it off, but dropping it in for a single to center field. Colton Turner picking it up. Jordan Pomeroy now at the plate. Jordan 1 for 3 so far with a run scored. Had a single back in the third. Pomeroy has a good eye at the plate. All even now with that swing. Pomeroy can slap that ball, put it into play, but he's got a lot of power too. Just your prototype leadoff batter. Pomeroy following that ball off down the left field line. High and outside. Trying to tease Pomeroy after you're chasing that ball. 2-2 count now to Pomeroy. Pomeroy falling, another pitch off. Staying aggressive at the plate with 2 strikes, so important. Good time at the plate here. Good plate appearance. Great eye there. Worked it now to a full count. Pomeroy punching that ball out. Center fielder Colton Turner surrounds it, brings it in for the second out of the inning. Brandon Horn now at the plate with 2 out and a runner at first base in the top of the 6th inning. Horn looking for his first hit of the game. 1 for 2 so far. Did get on back in the first inning by way of an error to the third baseman from the Lacie A's. Horn with a punch out to the second baseman, Casey Knight, but Knight relays it over to his brother Christian Knight for the third out of the inning. So no runs on 1 hit. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th inning in a few moments.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Monthill Golf and Country Club.
To lead off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Lacie A's, we go to the catcher, number 2 batter in the A's lineup, Boston Poole.
Leading off for the A's, catcher Boston Poole.
Poole just 0 for 1 so far, got caught looking at a third strike and was walked over in the 4th inning. Poole did collect 3 hits in the game yesterday against the Stoneyard team, a triple and a home run. Riley Mannion doing good job here now. 1-1 count. Had a rough start, walked that first batter back in the bottom of the 5th inning. Is starting to take charge here now in the bottom of the 6th. Justin Schofield back up, warming up again, back in the Bear Creek Express bullpen. Nice pitch there by Mannion, just missing. Moving that ball around, up, down. Good pitch sequence so far by Mannion. High and outside, putting down Boston Poole for the 2nd time today, but Mannion's 3rd strikeout of the game since he's been in for an inning and a third now. Trevor Knight now at the plate.
Third baseman Trevor Knight.
Lacie A's with just 2 hits so far in the game. Trevor Knight following that pitch off. Trevor went off field last time. Went over to the shortstop David Galino area, so we'll see if he stays in that same pattern. Nice off-speed pitch there by Mannion. Good changeup. Mannion has the full selection of pitches. Now he's got the batter up there guessing right now. Seen a rise ball, seen a changeup. What's coming at me? Come back with a good fastball right down the middle. Trevor Knight following it off. Two-strike count now to Riley. Trevor Knight. Riley Mannion up in the count. Nice waist pitch there. Seems to be wants to chase after that pitch. Another waist pitch now. All tied up now, even at 2-2. Mannion throwing 30 pitches so far in an inning and a third so far. Asking for an appeal down to the third base umpire, Gary Johnson, but said he did not offer. 3-2 count now. Mannion was up 0-2. Mannion with the pitch and the release. Missing outside for a walk. His second out, second walk of the game. Christian Knight now at the plate. John Stewart making another trip out to the mound. Taking the ball away from Riley Mannion, and Justin Schofield will now come into the game. We'll go for a commercial break here.
Sometimes people worry about asking for help because there can be a stigma around mental health problems.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
They might believe that asking for help means admitting that something's wrong.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Some people worry about how others might see them.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Asking for help means that you want to make changes and take the first steps towards better mental health.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
We should celebrate the courage it takes to speak up and make changes.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Getting help is part of recovery.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Mental health isn't something you need to keep to yourself. Talk to a friend. Trust your teammates. You're not alone.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
The first steps may be the toughest, but knowing where to look for help is a good start. Community mental health organizations like the Canadian Mental Health Association or Mental Health America offer resources and programs that can help you. Visit cmha.ca or mentalhealthamerica.net to find a branch in your community.
And remember,
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Christian Knight now facing Justin Schofield. We're in the bottom of the sixth inning, one out. Schofield facing his first batter. Christian Knight 0 for 2 so far with 2 strikeouts. Big cut there by Knight. Nice rise ball there by Justin Schofield. Big wide stance there by Christian Knight. Nice drop. Schofield way up in the count now, 0-2. A little bit of a wild pitch, bounced into about the 45-foot mark, but letting Trevor Knight advance down to second base on that wild pitch. Pitching the release by Schofield. Another high ball way out of the strike zone. Advancing Trevor Knight over to third base now. Second wild pitch in a row. Two walks by Schofield back in the inning and a third that he worked. Justin Schofield putting that rise ball in, and Knight going after it for the second out of the inning. Schofield's first strikeout of the game. Javier Caballero now at the plate. Caballero 1 for 2. Good first pitch strike there by Justin Schofield. Caballero with the high cut socks. Little high and outside. All even now in the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at third base now. Couple wild pitches there by Justin Schofield, so that screen is really tight here at John Miller Field. I know Lacie A's would love to get on that scoreboard, but that ball has a quick bounce, anything off that screen. Saw that in a few of the games we watched yesterday. One ball, 2 strikes now to Caballero. Bear Creek Express wanted to keep that run totals at zeros. Wants to shut the door. Schofield wanted that pitch. So did catcher Ryan Boland, but Brandon Bloom has the final decision. And he said no. So she's a 3-2 count. Brandon Bloom sits down Caballero for the 3rd out of the inning. His 2nd strikeout of the game. So with 6 complete now, the score is Bear Creek Express 5 and Lacie A's no score. We'll be back with the top of the 7th.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Second inning of work for Chase Thompson on the mound for Lacie A's now. Tyler Pauli at the plate. Tyler's having a really good afternoon. Strikeout. Started off with a strikeout, but replied that with a triple and scored a run, and a single and scored a run. Does have an RBI to his credit as well. Pulled the ball twice down the line, right field line. Thompson just missing off the edge of the plate. He wanted that pitch. Pauli with a long fly ball going out of the park. And a home run to Tyler Pauli. Good power swing, got all of that ball. Tyler did have a great afternoon. Finished that off with a triple, a single, and a home run now.
Well, he struck out to start, but boy, he certainly roared back. He just needs some extra innings to get to get the cycle.
Quentin Bruce also having a great afternoon. 2 doubles and a single, and scored 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Quentin Bruce really deep in that batter's box. Likes to make sure he can see that full movement of that ball. Recognize the potential spin. Any movement on that ball. Nice pitch by Thompson, putting down Quentin Bruce for the first time today. Kyle Ezekiel now at the plate. Do have a pinch hitter. Travis Jones now coming to the plate. Travis Jones gets a hold of a ball. Out to the shortstop, Pat Sagdahl. He surrounds it and pulls it in for the second out of the inning. Bear Creek Express deciding to use a few bench players now. Jeff Lyons coming off the bench, batting for Ryan Bolin. Jeff Lyons pumping it up again. Center fielder Colton Turner surrounds it, brings it in for the third out of the inning. We'll be back with the bottom of the seventh inning with the Bear Creek Express team winning by a score of 6-0. Little swing there by Carlton, but great change up there by Justin Schofield, throwing off the timing of Carlton for the second out of the inning. Dave McDaniel now at the batter. Lacie A's. McDaniel sat down back in the third inning and the fifth inning with strikeouts, swinging both times. McDaniel following a pitch off. McDaniel trying to attempt a one single, but unsuccessful in his attempt. 2 strikes now to McDaniel. Justin Schofield trying to finish him off. McDaniel protects the ball, fouls it off down the third base line. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch on the inside corner of the plate. Good pitch location there by Schofield. Trying to tempt McDaniel into teasing him into going after that third strike pitch. McDaniel got hit by an inside pitch right on the edge of the shoulder, or sorry, the elbow. Colton Turner now at the plate. Turner got on by way of an error to Ryan Bolin. Ball a little bleeder, but Ryan threw the ball a little wide at first base, back in the 5th inning. Schofield comes in with a strike. Colton Turner, the number 9 batter for Lacie A's. Ball high up in the strike zone, but Turner goes after it for the second strike. See if Schofield and Bolin can put Turner down with this 2-strike count. Turner's third strike call and squeezed by Ryan Bolin. Foul tip, but squeezed by Ryan Bolin for the third out of the inning. Final score of this game will be the Bear Creek Express 6 and the Lacie A's no score. We'll be back in a few, probably 15, 20 minutes with the Grand Valley Expos against the Hill United Chiefs. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Circle Tap and the little tournaments side like this page have jumped out with the changes, but Rich said they were trying to flip-flop one of the games, the 26 and 23, and I haven't heard that that's final, but these guys have jumped in on it and posted it. So, I'm waiting to hear from Rich. For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on softball.